Namaste
Namaste
Techies.
Techies.
Namaste
Namaste
Anoop.
Harjit.
I miss you, man.
Same here. It's been long.
Ah, yeah, lots going on, and
Yeah.
I know there was some holidays in India. We had to skip. I mean, there's a holiday in India every week. Uh,
Oh, come on.
and then I got pretty sick last week, so
Hmm.
I've been sick. Couldn't really function much, so we had to skip that as well. And then I
Yeah.
had a wedding I went to in Toronto. So,
Traveling,
anyways,
right? Yeah.
yeah, so it's a good time to catch up.
Yeah.
So, what's new?
Thing going on. So I have seen a lot of buzz in your Twitter feeds. Lot of you are taking a lot of interviews with a lot of people in the IT pro world and in probably in device management also, right? And probably
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
talking, you are doing some exciting stuff over there, like Windows 11 stuff, Windows 11 things like that. So
Windows
I
11, man, the new
yeah.
hotness.
So probably I have a question for you. What
Okay,
are the interesting features of Windows 11 you have seen, right? And or that is specifically for IT pros.
okay. That's a good question. I like that. So yeah, so going back, it's been an exciting time because I've been doing some interviews and discussions with various IT professionals, right? Many of the people that we know personally, um, just getting to hear about what they're saying about Windows 11, management of Windows 11, and things like that, and getting their perspective about it. And so all of those recordings and stuff will be coming out soon. But stay tuned. But in the meantime, about the features, one of the top uh, features that I hear from a lot of people, mentioned by a lot of people, and is also one of my favorites, is the snap layouts in Windows 11, right? So those that don't know what snap layouts is, it's like if you hover over an open window or two, there's a little box in the top right hand corner, and you have these six options that you can do to split your screen, right? So maybe you want your emails, Outlook to go into one box, your browser in another one, and stuff like that. It's a quick and easy way of organizing your screen, right? Snap layouts. So that is very hot. A lot of IT pros love it because they can put a PowerShell, window in one, and something else in another, and so on and so forth. And then those snap layouts can go into like a grouping. So whenever you click on the grouping, it just pops up and goes into wherever it needs to go. That's one. The other hotness is Windows Terminal. It's also seems to be pretty popular with IT pros. In the past, before Windows 11, you had to install it as a separate installer, but now it's built in into Windows 11, right? Windows Terminal is actually pretty cool. It's like this one command window where you can have different tabs. So, for example, a command prompt in one, PowerShell in another, Azure Cloud Shell in another, and so on and so forth. And you can have multiple PowerShell, multiple command prompts, all within this one window, right? And you can do different things here, different things there. Um, so that's another popular thing. What else? Let me think about another one. Oh, virtual desktops. That's also has a lot of improvements since Windows 11. I mean, since Windows 10. Uh, Another way of managing your desktop, for example, you know what? You don't want to use that same desktop for all your windows. You may want to like move your some documentation things or whatever into a different desktop, like this virtual desktop, and then another one where you want to do your PowerShell and your, you know, command line stuff in another window. So
Yeah.
multiple desktops that you can have, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I like one thing specifically, that is notification, right? Granular control over the notification stuff, right? So I like that very much. And specifically, I have seen a focus stuff, right? Focus, what is that called?
Focus
Yeah,
assist.
focuses and focus time or something like that, right? People
Yes,
can kind of focus on particular thing without any notification or without any disturbance. Maybe you
right.
can set it up 20 minutes or half an hour, 1 hour, something like that. That's pretty nice, I think.
That is also really popular because when you're actually really trying to get some work done or you're trying to
Yeah,
focus on something, you don't want to get these pop-ups and
yeah.
notifications, whatever. It's called focus assist. That's really hot as well. Another thing that's really cool and not uh, you don't hear much about is background scrolling. That's another feature of Windows 11. So what's cool about this is, let's say you have multiple windows and you
Mm-hmm.
got one, your most persistent window in the front, but you can see the window at the back, like in a
Mm,
very like light, right? But
yeah.
instead of like clicking out of it and going to that window, you can just hover over the window and then do your scrolling. For example,
Oh.
you could have maybe like a web page behind, but you have maybe your PowerShell in the front,
Hmm.
and you can just kind of like hover and just scroll without actually clicking out of your most active
Huh.
window. That's pretty cool,
That's pretty
right?
cool. Yeah. I think I never tried that. I should try it. Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, you should
Thank
try it.
you.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another one that I heard from one of the IT pros, which was very fascinating, is that when you're in Microsoft Teams, right? So you normally like, if you and I are doing things, we go to click on share, and then we
Yeah.
either pick our desktop or pick an, whatever. You don't have to do that. Now the new
Oh.
cool feature is if you have some open items in your taskbar,
Uh-huh.
right? You might have like a notepad or you might have something. All you have to do is while you have Teams open, you just hover, not click, but just
Mm.
hover your mouse and you right click and you say share. It'll then share into your Microsoft Teams.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
That's always my struggle, right? I always try to kind of find out the application which I want to share, and that's not a very good experience. This is
Right.
very useful. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is it.
yeah, yeah. So I learned that that was something new
Yeah,
that I learned as well. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Um, and then there are a bunch of
yeah,
others, like accessibility tools, for example, dictation and voice,
yeah.
speech to text. Those are pretty helpful as well.
Uh-huh.
For some people, it has improved quite a bit in Windows 11.
Oh,
So, what about
okay.
you? Do you have any features that you like?
No, the graphics, overall graphics, it looks modern. It looks fresh. It looks very fresh for me. Right,
Yes.
I like that, and I don't know. People always like don't like the start button or the middle one, etc. But that's something different for me. I always use like the middle alignment in the
Yes,
taskbar
me
for
too.
the yeah. So I like
Yeah.
it. It is bit different than the old.
Honestly,
Mhm.
honestly, I don't understand what the bugaboo is about, the whole start menu. I think that's been a lot of people complain about it. Like, I don't understand, like, why is such a hardship? I
Yeah,
mean, it's just a change. And you know what? There's a built-in change in there. If you don't like it, you can put it back to where it was, right?
exactly.
From before.
Yeah,
Fine, it works, right? It's just cleaner, it's modified, it's modern, you got less distractions, I feel.
yeah,
And I'm kind of a person just like you, where when there's something new, I use the new thing as the new way of doing the new thing, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, in the past, I think if I recall, like I think was it Windows XP or Windows 7 or something like that, people were like trying to download third-party tools to create the look and feel. I'm like, but why? Right?
yeah,
If you want the look and feel, then you either end up staying there and
yeah,
not progressing forward, you
yeah.
know?
I know people are very fancy about themes, downloading third-party themes and doing some stuff. But I never tried it personally. I don't. It doesn't give me that kind of first-party feeling. Okay,
Right.
so that is why I try to kind of avoid it. File Explorer, multiple, what is it
Multi-tab.
called? Multi-tab
Multi-tab.
option. Yeah, multi-tab
Yes.
option in File Explorer. I think
Yes.
it's
That's in
not
the
there in the production.
Windows Insider builds.
Yeah,
That is pretty useful. Seriously. Right.
yeah,
If we
uh,
have multi-tabs in other places, why not in File Explorer? And you can have, maybe open up a tab for a specific folder structure that you're working
yeah,
on, a project or something like that, right? And
yeah,
then maybe another one for your photos or
exactly.
something. And
Yeah,
it's
and
pretty useful.
in yeah, in the File Explorer, there's an option to check about your OneDrive settings.
Yes.
Now, in that multi-file explorer thing, if you are connected to two OneDrives, one personal one and one business one, you will get
Right.
all the details, right? How much space is free, how much, what are the settings, which OneDrive is this. If you have three or four OneDrives, then probably
Right.
I don't know whether that is possible or supported or not, but at least I have two.
You have seen it.
So yeah,
Yeah. And then, they got other things, right? Like, I mean, the widgets, some people like it, some people don't. I don't mind it because I occasionally will hover over it because I want to know the weather.
yeah,
I want to know something really quick about some news thing that, may pop up,
yeah,
things like that. So it doesn't bother me because it's just sitting in the corner anyways. Um, so that's
yeah.
that's another one.
I tried one additional stuff that is customized one. It is not native at the moment. I don't know at the moment it is native or not, but when I tried, it was that widget was not there in the Windows out of box experience, right? It is
Oh, I see. Okay.
time. It is time,
Time.
right? In the desktop, it will show the time and date.
Right.
Okay, so there's a store application available. If you install that, it will show up. It is an additional widget, and it will show up as the time and date in the desktop image or whatever
Oh,
it
right,
is,
right.
wallpaper, right? Yeah,
Wallpaper. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and there's a lot of like personalization stuff that has improved and much nicer and better. Like you said, wallpapers and other things. You can configure your notifications and all that stuff. So I like it. I've been using Windows 11 since, day one and even prior to that with Windows Insider builds and stuff. So um I
if
like it. It's fast, it's easy. And for things like management, right? Like what you and I do and stuff like that or have done, like even like for patching, right? It actually when it's like trying to do a reboot, it'll tell you how much time it's gonna take to do the reboot. It's like
yeah,
it's pretty cool, right? Hey, it's gonna take, I don't know, 2 minutes and 10 seconds or something like that for to complete this. And it gives the end user an idea. Is it gonna be like 10 minutes or is it gonna be like, uh should I just quickly do
yeah,
this so that I can get back to what I'm working on?
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah. That's
Um,
that's pretty nice.
and the
But
updates are also much smaller. I think they're like 40% smaller in
yeah,
size, so they're quicker, faster. We won't even touch upon the security stuff. I mean, security is all
yeah,
default, on by
that's
default. It's tremendous. It's a lot. But yeah, in terms of IT Pro features, I think the ones that I mentioned are pretty popular, pretty useful. The other one you like to use is the Sandbox.
yeah, sandbox. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So if people don't know about Sandbox, that's another, you enable it. It creates another Windows 11 environment inside of your host. And this is like completely isolated. You can do all your testing. You can, if you're unsure about a certain application, whether it's like it's good or bad or whatever, you can test it inside of this, sandbox and browser, all that stuff. And then when you
Yeah,
close out, it just disappears. Like
yeah,
it doesn't affect your host, right?
yeah.
So
I
It's
have
good
seen
for.
many people. Yeah, sorry. I have seen many people use it for packaging technicians, right? They
Yes,
like it
yes,
very much, and they can do a lot of automation with that, and do a lot of
yes.
testing on packaging side. What are the changes that particular package makes, and they can analyze the differences. So
Right,
it's
right.
pretty nice.
And
Yeah.
also, you don't have to using that for that purpose is great because in normal circumstances, you normally have to take snapshots and stuff, right? For when you're doing application packaging,
Yeah.
because it takes the differences between the and so you can do all of that now in the sandbox environment. So Windows Terminal, Sandbox, Snap layouts, Focus Assist. I mean, there's
Yeah.
tons.
Yeah,
So
we can speak about all the features like probably 2 hours, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
an
Someday
interesting
we have to
story
do a
is,
show and tell, but you know,
yeah.
so but
And
for anyone that's listening, if you want to stay current with the developments of Windows 11, join the Windows Insider program. It's super easy. Just get another machine, put Windows Insider on that. You'll get, it's what is it, updated once a month or twice a month, actually, or sometimes even more frequently than that. So you get to play with all the new features that's coming out. You can report on bugs and things that are not working, and then it'll be incorporated into the next revision, and then it becomes GA, right?
yeah, otherwise
So
you can be like me. I'm running dev version of Windows 11 on my production PC.
there you go.
So I will get update every week, like. so so every Thursday, I think, my time Thursday, I think, they will normally push
There
the
you go.
updates. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you will be excited, oh, what are the new features coming out today, right? And you will be checking. So it
Yeah.
is it is interesting.
And
I
you know
never.
what? Honestly, the only way to actually really get the feel and learn about the new things is using it day in and day out. If you like you say you put in a VM, you have to fire up the VM. You may check it, you may not check it, whatever. But if you're using it day to day to do your production stuff,
Yeah. and
yeah.
and 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 interestingly, I never faced any critical issue where of go back. I wanted to go back to the previous
Uh-huh.
version or something like that. Never. I started doing this from, I think it is more than a year now, right?
Okay.
So yeah, it,
I
it
used
is
to do that.
pretty
I used to do
amazing
that in my
journey.
previous
Yeah.
job, actually.
Hmm.
My primary device had the Windows Insider build, and I was using it day in, day out, and
Yeah.
living the dream. Anyways, so that's it. Quick and dirty about Windows 11. Right? And
Yep.
and we'll focus on something else next time. Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
cool hats.
New one for
So,
me.
so a quick story before we leave. Anoop and I both attended MVP Summit in Redmond or Seattle a few years ago. And during one of the social events that they had, Microsoft actually hired uh, a company to come out and create these hats so you could write whatever you wanted. And the artists from that company would just, you know. So I got my Twitter handle, he's got his name,
Yeah.
and I think I've got multiple of these. I got one that says MVP, and yeah. So they're
Good,
so
good.
they're so good. They're so good.
Yeah.
Anyways, until next time,
And don't forget to
forget
share, subscribe, like, and do comment.
do comment. Yes, yes, we do read your comments. So, all right, you know where to find us.
Namaste.
Namaste.